came out here today to plant a rain garden to catch some of the runoff that was coming from the roof of one of our buildings. We'd been out here weeks back and did a percolation test, which consisted of digging a 8-inch deep by 8-inch wide hole, filling it with water, and seeing how far the water went down after 4 hours. Our results told us that we had a draining rate of about a half an inch per 4 hours. So we constructed a plan for a rain garden. So when you're trying to figure out the size of the rain garden that you're trying to make, you're going to start with a percolation test. It'll give you a rate that your water will be percolating through the soil profile. Then with that number, you're going to multiply by a constant of 6. So let's say you have 1/2 inch per 4 hour percolation rate. You end up with a product of 3, and that's going to end up being your preferred depth, your minimum depth of rain garden. So that's what we ended up with here. To start the dig, we had to flag out and mark where we needed to dig. The project area is about 10 feet by 8 feet by 15 feet, and we made a gentle slope in that hole to a berm so that we would catch the most water as that we could from the roof runoff. We have a berm sort of towards our downhill side, and then we have plants populating the center where we're going to put those into the ground so they can soak up all of our excess water. So the way that we decided the size of our rain garden was to measure the area of the roof, so the area that you're getting runoff from. Parking lots, you end up with a lot larger area. For us, we just had this smaller building, so we multiplied that by our percolation rate, which ended up being that 1/2 inch per every 4 hours. So after you get your minimum depth of rain garden, you're going to divide your total area that you're draining with the rain garden by that 3, so that you end up with an area that you can map out for the rain garden itself. For us, we have about 300 square feet we're trying to drain. We end up with 100 square feet of rain garden we have to create. So the plants that we use today are big blue stem, swamp milkweed, ashy sunflower, and orange coneflower. So we have a variety of different plants. These are just left over from different native plantings we had going. This is our orange coneflower. It's going to be relatively good at soaking up water, but you probably want to put it near the outside of the planting because it could easily get overshadowed by some of the other plants. We've got our ashy sunflower that you want to put also on the outside so it doesn't get overshadowed. We have swamp milkweed over here, so that's going to be one of the best at soaking up water. You'd likely want to put it in the center. It'll grow relatively tall stalks and be able to reach the sun wherever you put it, but if you put it in the center, it can be seen from the outside. And you've got big blue stem, which is our grass for this mixture, so it's going to be definitely the most capable of soaking up the most water in the least amount of time. So that you want to put into your deepest side of the rain garden. A few safety concerns people might want to think about before putting in a rain garden. A lot of people would be worried about pooling water because we think of that as harboring mosquitoes. In the case of rain gardens, the point is that you get the water into the soil profile early on. So it pools up, but it's going to be going into the soil profile quickly. So it doesn't keep a puddle for very long, so the mosquitoes don't really have a chance to nest or brood there. Other safety concerns probably would be you would want to call before you dig, make sure that you're not going to be hitting any power utility lines, anything like that. Most of these are going to be shallow for the most part, but don't get lulled into a sense of confidence just from that, because you can still mess up your power utility lines just digging down a little bit. And you don't want to bury utility lines under a garden like this, just in the case that they might have to get serviced. For your planting distance from your foundation, you want to make sure that you're a good distance from any foundations of buildings. Most of the guides would say about 10 feet. I would suggest even further if you have the opportunity. One of the main points is that you are making an avenue for more water to go lower in the soil profile, so you're weakening your foundation, so you don't want to do that. So if you're looking for different plans on constructing a rain garden, you can go to bggreensource.org. So that's GreenSource's website, and they have a lot of helpful hints on how to create one. There's also a residential rain garden construction publication by UK. You can just go to the UK's website and search that. We have a few different people that might be able to help out with that here at KSU. So if you'd like to talk to anybody directly, you can always email me at lewis.ross@kysu.edu.